Hello, guys. Hello, guy. This is Ayan here. Welcome, Ayan. How do I make it appear? Yes. Welcome, Ayan. Hey, Rishi's Man United Warehouse. I hope people will be joining today. Otherwise, it's the both of us, which has been a recurring theme, if I'm not wrong, over the past 2 or 3 videos. Not a lot of people are joining, but that's fine. Or Ayan, how are you? How did you like yesterday's match? I'm guessing you watched our game over Arsenal to showcase your allegiances towards Man United over Arsenal, right? How was our performance according to you? Okay, till the time Ayan is typing, or maybe he is in, um, let's go through today's agenda. Um, the first thing that we'll do is hello, Eben, welcome. The first thing that we'll discuss is the match between United and Bayern, and uh, we'll dissect it slowly and steadily. And then I have a list going on because there is a slight problem on my uh, tongue. I bit it last night while sleeping, so I might sound a little weird, but uh, bear with me. And then we'll do a preview of the Burnley game. Hello, Mohit. Welcome to the warehouse. So, Ayan, you've stated the fact that I watch United's game. Not the scoreline I expected though. And that is the deceiving. That is the deceiving thing about our performance yesterday, right? Um, you have to realize the fact that we played a squad that deserves to be on our bench on a fundamental level. And on top of that, five of the players are not even starters from the starting 11. Now, I can mention names like um, Wan Bissaka directly, better quality than Dallo in such big games. Reguilon could have been replaced by Shaw, definitely. Lindelof, definitely not starting if Varane's fit. So that's three out of the four defenders. That's three out of sorry, my God, my boss is irritating. Three out of the four defenders. And then in midfield we had Ericsson starting, and um, I think Mount is a step up. Despite the fact that we haven't played well with Mount starting, I think those are very initial days where Mount was still learning the vibe of the entire squad, and he deserves to be given time. And with Mount, that's four, and five would be Pelestri, right? Anthony, definite upgrade over Pelestri. So five, five non-starters in a squad that travels to the Allianz Arena. Quality on the other side of the pitch, especially considering players like Kimmich, Goretzka, Sane, Musiala. Um, Absolutely brilliant team. So address a few comments and then we'll move on to dissecting the game. So Ayan says, in all honesty, apart from the memes I enjoyed, I think ETH coached for a win, but players let him down. Onana and Rashford mainly. So and I agree with you to a certain level that yes, for the initial 15 to 20 minutes, I think we showed a lot of command, a lot of pizzazz would be a better word. We had the guts to play uh, our sort of second team with five bench warming players at the Allianz Arena, and we were sharper than Bayern by a country mile. They were much. They were sitting deep. I think Pelestri was harassing Alfonso Davis, which is a massive like badge on his shoulder. I think Rashford was absolutely harassing Upamecano, but the entire point was a lot of the times Rashford doesn't really know how to defend properly, and that's why we were more open on the left flank, especially since Limer was making those runs and Upamecano was just missing Rashford and putting in a pass so that Limer could go through. But you have to realize the fact that the actual effectiveness of Limer was down to like two or three through balls at best. The one Sane through ball in minute like 4 or 5, that was a brilliant move. He completely exploited Marcus Rashford and Reguilon and put in the pass that played Sane through. I think Sane was awful yesterday, to be very honest. Yes, he was unlucky, but he was dancing around outside our box, but with zero effectivity. Just I mean, you criticize Anthony so much, might as well criticize Sane. I think, yeah, Eric Ten Hag coached for a win, but with the quality of players that we have, it would be very difficult. It would be a very tall order to win at the Allianz Arena, and I'm not happy with the result, especially since two of the goals that we considered were extremely dodgy. Um, we scored three fair goals, and two of those goals from the four that Bayern scored. One was a mistake by the goalkeeper, and one was a penalty. The fact that we get none, absolutely none of the VAR decisions at our favor is absolutely irritating, in my opinion. But still, like, yeah, what can we do, right? Like Eric Ten Hag said in the press conference, we make our own luck. Evan says, ki, yeah, Bayern weren't playing well. I agree. Bayern weren't absolutely dominating throughout the game. Yes, they had a brilliant spell before our second goal went in. Um, I think Bayern really took control of that like 20-25 minute window, and they were focusing on continuously building up. I think Common and Sane really, you give them the flashy points and everything, but at the end of the day, they were pretty effective. Uh, Not very effective in my opinion. Um, Coming to the Rashford disappointment, I think Rashford had a disappointing game, but even in his disappointing games, he was directly responsible for our first goal, which Hoyland scored, and sort of responsible for our second goal. So that is quality at the end of the day. Now, Rashford can play 90 minutes of a game, and 87 to 88 minutes he makes you pull your hair out. But the 2 minutes that he'll play, he'll either get a goal or an assist. And I think that's what makes him undroppable. I think Rashford did not play a brilliant game, but you know what? Without Rashford, I don't see anybody taking on so many defenders and cutting in and giving a pass to Hoyden. Yes, he does it rarely, but at least he does it right. Yeah, I mean that's why Rashford and Sergio Reguilon passing um, the Bayern fullback and really pushing in right, and that's that's actually uh oh my god. Okay, so Unik is joining us. I'll just share him the link. Wait a second. Oh my god, I have a new phone. I have to sign in. Oh fuck off, bro. I was actually sleeping through my screen. Sleeping through your screen. Oh my fucking god. Ah, thank you, bro. Fucking hell. Why do I have to? Hmm. Now, aura is obviously a very powerful word, Ayan, but yeah, what can we do, right? Nick is going to join us. I sent him the link, so yeah. Hello, hello, Arsenal bhai. I mean, Daksh bhai. Congratulations on your 4-0 whooping of PSV Eindhoven, the best club in the world. Ballon d'Or Club of the Year. But in all seriousness, they did not lose for like 35 games, and Arsenal whooped their ass completely. But then again, they are. What can you do, right? I think Liverpool is also losing right now, or maybe they have scored. Just don't have any regards for those clubs, to be very honest. No, I'm just joking though. But yeah, so Bayern weren't playing well. Sancho possible return, says Tracy. I don't see Sancho returning in the very near future. I don't think Anthony is not returning either. So we have to do with Pelestri or Mount at the right, and Amrabat, Mount, and Varane might return in the near future. Mount and Varane with certainty against Burnley. But Amrabat and Menu have been individually training, as per my knowledge. And that would be interesting, right, against Burnley. Let's see. Um, Ericsson is the only ball carrier in that midfield, so him not playing makes it difficult to take the ball from Onana and take it forward. Onana can only help you out in your half. I would disagree to a certain extent, but yes, I understand your point that Ericsson can occasionally carry the ball, but what I see Ericsson doing is this new Ericsson that I've seen over the last 1 year. He put in those short passes, and Bruno will go for the long pass to Rashford. That is generally how we play. We don't really see Ericsson cutting through the middle and really taking on defenders and midfielders, but defensive players on the opponent's half, and really pushing forward with the ball and putting it in behind for, let's say, our center forward being Martial or Ronaldo or whoever he has played with. So the thing is, uh, Ericsson is a ball carrier, yes, in his traditional sense, but I don't think he has been effective. I think Mount can carry the ball certainly better, despite my biases towards him. I think Mount comes with more quality, energy, all of it. I think Mount has been ineffective, like I said, for the first two games, but let's see. Let's see. I think he'll get better. Um, Pace of Ericsson is not too much for a team like Bayern, says Mohit. And I absolutely agree to that, Mohit. I think Unique is here. They will need to connect a. Whoa. Pro. I cannot add him to the stage. Ah, I think I've added him to the stage. He'll come when he comes. Um, yeah, Ericsson is slow. I think he was directly responsible for the penalty first, for the second goal, if I'm not wrong. He lost the ball in the middle, and then they started the attack with Goretzka, and then the ball went to the left hand side where the uh, Bayern players took on Dalo and really beat our defense up. But yeah, that happened, right? Because of Ericsson losing the ball at a very crucial point of the game. Unique, can you hear me? Hello, buddy. Ah, I don't think Unique can hear me. Uh, Show off, yes. Wow. Hmm. Hello, Arsenal, bhai. They're winning 2-1. Getting ignored here also, Dhruv says. After Pohak and Vugs by Rishi bhai has also started to ignore me. No, bro, they're asking me such deep questions. Of course, I'll take a little bit of time. Right. You are here to get ignored, says Karthik bhai. No, dude, nobody's getting ignored. Ericsson now has a Sergio Busquets kind of role, says uh, Dhruv. Dude, you're comparing chalk with cheese, buddy. I don't think I don't think he's as good as anybody, to be very honest. Nothing. I think he can be as good as maybe Menu, who is like a 16. Uh, he's like an 18-year-old academy grad. But yeah, let's see. Dhruv is sexy. कैसे हो आप Dhruv? I don't know. My God, guys, 9 viewers. Yeah, please like and subscribe to my channel. We're on our way to 50 subs, which is not a very big number, but yeah, my heart can't say Ericsson, says Dhruv. Yeah. So continuing on the premise that we said, it was not really a very bad performance from Man United on a fundamental level, and Rashford too, right? He was responsible for two of our goals. Cannot like state the fact that a person played a bad game when three, may say two goals were because of Marcus Rashford, right? So the players that really let us down are obviously Onana, but I loved Onana's vigor and sheer onus of the fact that he made the mistake and he came up with that interview. We never saw that with Maguire after Sevilla, and that requires balls, in my opinion. And yeah, I applaud him. He had a very decent second half, to be honest. Onana, I think he was brilliant with his saves. The Tell goal, Lindelof got rolled over by their attack, and I think Onana really did not have a very big role to play. So the players that were most disappointing, Ericsson has to be the most disappointing. And people would say that Casemiro really did not have a very good game, and yes, that's true. Casemiro did not really have a good game despite his two goals, and that's because he has no support in the mid. You cannot really. Okay, wait a second. Nico's section. Yeah, you cannot really play that in a midfield that has Bruno, who yes he drops down sometimes to defend and he shows heart, but at the end of the day you have to realize the fact that Ericsson, Mount, and Bruno are inherently very attack minded midfield combination. It's it's a lot like if Arsenal would have started Partey, Odegaard, and Havertz, which is dangerous in my opinion, especially in European competitions away. When you're playing a team like Bayern Munich, the quality that they have, in a perfect setup, I would start Casemiro, Amrabat, and Mount as our Casemiro, Amrabat, and Bruno, and Mount on the right, so that they could have this entire like interactive football dynamic in the middle of the park. And yeah, I think that would be the ideal way to play Bayern Munich away. So Mazen says, do you think Rashford should be benched for the next game and Garnacho should be given? Absolutely not, Mazen. Bhai. If he can get an assist and be responsible for another goal against Bayern Munich, yes, he's been selfish, but he has also contributed on the pitch. Now imagine a game which we are losing, for example, 3-1 against City, and Marcus Rashford has scored two goals or assisted two goals, and the scoreline is suddenly 3-3. Yes, the scoreline was not in our favor, and you have to understand the entire narrative around Manchester United players underperforming. And yes, we are underperforming as a unit. It's not down to individual underperformances. And what Rashford did yesterday was disappointing to a certain extent, but he made up for his disappointment with that assist and that run that caused the second goal. I think Rashford does not deserve to sit. Um, he is by far the manager's favorite player, and we should back the manager in his choices, right? Uh, मैंने जिस मोहित पर छोड़ दो फिर सर्वर एंड अनसब्सक्राइब कर दो no, no, please, no bashing of A for Arsenal in any way. We love Arsenal. I mean, we love A for Arsenal, not Arsenal. Sorry. If ETH was ruthless, he will bench Rashford and Onana both next game and maybe uh, even Casemiro. I think there's a certain case that if Menu and Amrabat come in does Casemiro start? I think a double pivot with Menu and Amrabat would be very effective also, especially against like the lower teams that we are supposed to face. We have Crystal Palace, Burnley, and Sheffield. Um, so yeah, Menu and Amrabat can effectively command our midfield positions. But as for Onana and Marcus Rashford, now look, a lot of comments about Onana yesterday. Um, some comparing him to David De Gea and everything, but you have to look at the positives also, and you have to look at how David De Gea came into this Manchester United setup as well. In his very first game in the Charity Shield, he costed us a very cheap goal, very similar to what Onana did yesterday. So it takes time, dude, for a player to settle down. Maybe Onana, this is the biggest thing that he wanted to do. Playing for Man United, especially for any player, is not a very easy task. And yes, he does look very confident outside of the game, but what if he is not that confident on the inside? What if he's continuously questioning himself? Now he started his career at Manchester United and he's conceded 14 goals already. And not all of those goals were down to his mistakes, maybe 3 or 4, but 10 out of the 14 goals were down to the absolute garbage defense that we have had, and that really affects a person's confidence no matter what. And I think Onana deserves time. I think he deserves all of our sympathies. um yeah. So Karthik says, Mazin, Rashford needs to know that no position is for granted, so he shall be benched. Yeah. So that's your opinion, Karthik, but I would not agree to that. I think Rashford deserves to start. um Lab Lobo Nakpil, hello bro. I'm seeing you for the first time over here. Welcome to the warehouse. Bruno is overrated, he says. Yeah, if you consider the fact that he has the most goal plus assists after joining, being overrated, I think you deserve to watch cricket instead of football. On pure statistics, Bruno is leaps and bounds ahead of everybody. Now, I'm not saying on ability he is. There are certainly better midfielders. There's Odegaard, there's Kevin De Bruyne. But if you look at sheer statistics and the difference he's made, probably the best signing post Fergie era, um, Bruno has been. And he is our captain, so there's a certain spark that Ten Hag probably sees. He plays brilliantly for Portugal too, and calling him overrated is pretty shambolic in my opinion. So Mazin bhai says, Mohit Peshwani बोलना पड़ता है अब. Okay, no bashing of any people, guys. Okay, these people are conversing. So I want to see how Menu performs in a traditional 8 as a box to box midfielder. Um, so by a box to box midfielder, the players that come to mind, in my opinion, are Roy Keane, and Roy Keane was not really a number 8 in any way. I think what Menu can give us is this defensive midfielder that can carry the ball. He has a great pass on him. I think the way he played in the preseason friendlies against Arsenal, we saw absolutely brilliant what he did. And we can expect the same from Menu. I think his best qualities would be to play, would allow him to play a deeper role next to Casemiro, and I think um, he will do uh, good in that role. 8 mein to there's Bruno, dude, and there's Mount to fill up those two positions. I don't think Menu competes for that position. I think Mount, Casemiro, Amrabat compete for the same position, or maybe if one attacking midfielder doesn't play, they occupy two positions as a double pivot. Hi Renesu, welcome to the warehouse, brother. Um, he said Ode is better. On looking at their current forms, I think Odegaard is an solid like 8 or 9 on 10 player, whereas Casemiro is just 5 or 6. Hello, Junior League Gunner. Elite ball knowledge. Thank you. Um, Renaissance is the smartest uncle in the server. Yeah, maybe. Born from Flames says, "Hey, hi, Born from Flames." So yeah, coming to some more positivities from the game. I think Reguilon. Now people have criticized his defense to a certain extent. No, there's going to be no quiz. The video states it's all beginning to happen. FC Bayern versus Manchester United review plus Burnley review, and we are going to discuss only that. So yeah, there's going to be no quiz, but if you guys want a quiz, we can arrange that as well, but not right now. So yeah, coming to another positive factor from the game, I think Reguilon is a spicy addition to our squad. Um, Now he has a brilliant cross on him. He can overlap very well. I think his defensive intensity is also very nice. Now he might not be a very good he might not inherently be the best defender in the world, but what I see Regulon come with is a lot of bite to his game. Now, if you remember, during the first half, he took out Ganabry. He, being a left back, went to the right flank when Dalo was proving to be a little less effective, and gave in these crunching tackles to on Reguilon. And yeah, he's brilliant going forward, like Karthik Bhai is showing. At least he's showing some intent. I think yesterday, I'd say the three best players that played for Man United are um, number one would be straight down to statistics. The person that scored two goals, he has to be the best player. He scored two out of the three goals. Yes, he got ran, but he played well. Two goals. That would be Casemiro. The second best player, in my opinion, had to be Sergio Reguilon. Brilliant performance. I think Lisandro Martinez really improved after the Brighton game. He was by far the more solid centre back, and yeah, I mean, he was solid in my opinion. Uh, Ayan says, will Shaw start when he returns ahead of Reguilon if Reguilon continues the same form? We have to see what kind of recovery he comes with at the. Now look, if Varane is injured, which he is mostly, I see Licha starting with Shaw as our centre backs, and maybe then Sergio Reguilon can play as our left back. That is up his alley, Shaw's alley. So yeah, I mean that could be one formation that we play in also, right? So, yep, Regulon being a positive. Another positive that I want to discuss, and this is in relation to the games that are coming up. I've given you guys a sneak peek that Mount um, and Varane definitely coming in, and Amrabat and Minu also in the near future. Now, with Mount and Varane directly coming in, I see them directly replacing two of our players. Those would be essentially Lindelof and Ericsson. But also, if we decide to play Ericsson, I think Mount big upgrade over Pelestri. I think Pelestri and Ericsson both missed a couple of chances each. Pelestri could have easily dived in and scored a goal. But yeah, I think Pelestri showed heart, but did not really mean anything at the end of the day. But yeah, at least Rashford, when he's not even showing heart, he gets going with something. He contributes in a certain way, and I don't see Pelestri doing that day in day out. I think Mount has a certain better chance. So yeah, the way I'll start this game against Burnley if I was Ten Hag, um, I would start Onana, obviously in goal. I would start Reguilon as my left back. I'll start Varane and Licha as my centre backs. Right back would obviously be Dalo. And the midfield three of Casemiro, it would be Scott McTominay instead of Ericsson, definitely. Despite his antics against Brighton, I think Ericsson just cannot hold his own. I know I'm bashing him way too much, but he just loses the ball in very, very vulnerable spots and we get run over. I don't think Ericsson, yes, he has a very good pass on him. I think Casemiro on his day can pass well too. And yeah, maybe not as good as Ericsson. Maybe Ericsson is a 8 on 10 passer and Casemiro is a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10 passer. But yeah, let's see. The point of me starting Ericsson over Scott McTominay comes down directly to it, to intensity. Maybe Ericsson is tired. Maybe it deserves a sitter. So yeah, we'll start Casemiro, Scott McTominay, and Bruno Fernandes in the midfield. Right wing would be covered by Mount. Left wing Rashford. Front line Hoyland or Martial, whoever's fit. Right. So that is how I'd line up against Burnley. I think we should dispatch them pretty effectively. I think Burnley are not playing well, to be honest. And I think the games following that are also pretty easy. Um, so yeah, I mean things are looking up. Whoever is still watching, we had a disappointing first couple of games, yes, but things are looking up, right? So, Karthik Bhai says, would you like to see uh, Bayandir as our goalkeeper against Palace in the Carabao Cup? Want to see him too? Definitely in the Carabao Cup, but not in other any other competition. I think Onana has been bashed unfairly. Yes, he made a mistake and everything, but you have to realize the fact that our defenders gave um, Sane so much space to go for a shot. I think the ball also bounced at a very awkward angle right in front of him, and it's very difficult for goalkeepers to sometimes judge those. Right. So yeah, I mean, let's see. I think Onana is a brilliant keeper. I think he should start all of our important games definitely because he can be a match changer on his day, and that is my entire argument with Marcus Rashford as well. Right. Marcus Rashford, Onana can be match changers, and we cannot afford to make do without them, in my opinion. So yeah, um, that would be essentially my starting lineup against Burnley. I'll repeat it again. Orana at goal, Sergio Reguilon left back, Varane and Licha as both of our centre backs. Right back would be Dalo, Casemiro, um, Scott McTominay, uh, Bruno Fernandes, Mount right wing, Rashford left wing, and Hoyland or Martial, whoever's fit as our centre forward. I think Martial was very impressive against Bayern Munich for the 5 or 6 minutes he played. Absolutely harassed Bayern's defenders and basically made the space for Casemiro to creep in and get his fluky goal right. I think Martial was carrying the ball well, won the free kick as well. Oh no, that was Ganacho. But yeah, I see. And everyone says, Onana isn't that bad, bro. He needs some confidence. Yeah, I think I think the goalkeeping role at Manchester United comes with a lot of weight. Uh, as being a normal player is also very, 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 very difficult for a young guy. But Onana is not young, but then again, he's playing for Manchester United, which is a very big deal. And maybe his start hasn't gone to plan, and that's causing him to have a dip in confidence. But yeah, let's see. Let's see. You guys can start putting in results, putting in comments and everything, right? I'll address them. Uh, 1 second. You guys can put in like your comments and all, right? Ah, Unik is coming. Hmm. I think Unique is coming. It'll be interesting to hear his views about the game. Hello, Unique. There were a flurry of
So,
people, and now there's one. So, hmm. So yeah, man. How was yesterday's game? I've given my views. I think it was not that disappointing, especially after stating the fact that we would be happy with one goal. We scored three at the Allianz Arena.
uh, hello, first of all, and I think, yeah, I don't actually know how to feel about it because I think there was some hope after the first goal in the
Hmm.
45 minutes, but then Bayern just crushed it so fast, right? Immediately in 3 minutes they come back, and it's every time you score a goal and you're like, okay, maybe we are putting pressure now, and they just score again. So
Hmm.
it was a roller coaster. And it wasn't entertaining as such. It wasn't end to end. All the
Hmm.
goals were very bad, honestly.
Hmm.
Some of like the ones we scored looked good, but the first one, the mistake by Onana, I think that just took me out of the game so much that I couldn't really enjoy for the rest of the time.
Barring that mistake, Onana had a pretty good game. Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, yeah. He came out pretty strong in the second half, I think.
Mm. He saved two certain goals, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
I think the most disappointing player, like I've stated many times on my stream as well, would not be Onana. It would be Ericsson. I think Ericsson was absolutely ghastly yesterday.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I
deserve
think
the start.
they managed to exploit his weakness pretty much, uh,
Yeah,
forcing
I
him
mean,
into challenges, and that's not how he likes to play most of the
mm,
time, and when he's forced to play like that, you see why he doesn't like to do it.
mm. I I think Ericsson needs a rest. I think the good news around Mount, Amrabat, Menu coming back certainly helps his cause. Um, Given that there is like availability now in our squad, suddenly, would you start Ericsson against Burnley? Or what would be like your starting 11 against Burnley?
I don't really know about what's going on with Amrabat yet.
Mm,
I mean, no one's asking the manager about him. Like even before the Bayern game, the reporters only asked about Mount and Varane. Nobody asked about Amrabat. So many of the people
he's on
assumed that,
European, bro.
yeah. So everybody assumed that he was in the squad that traveled, but he wasn't, and you didn't
Mm,
really see him. I think he is the guy I would like to see. Like I want to see him play first of all, because we generally know how what Mount is going to do if we play him in place of Ericsson, but we
mm,
don't know what Amrabat and Casemiro will operate like together. So I want to
mm.
first see before, like, our midfield suddenly now has Menu, Casemiro, Amrabat, Mount, Bruno, McTominay.
Exactly.
So you now can afford to look at play styles more and then
Mm,
try to see who fits instead of just looking for who's available, right?
mm. So my starting 11, like I've stated already, would essentially be now I'm considering Amrabat and Menu, who have been training alone, to be not featuring because it's the game is in like 3 days. I don't think they'll be miraculously appearing suddenly.
Yeah,
I think
and
it should be a Scott I think Varane directly replaces Lindelof, no questions asked. Tell owned him third goal में.
yeah,
Bhai,
it
they
was.
fourth goal,
I
sorry.
remembered the goal we scored against Chelsea in the 4-1. And also the one Bruno went past with that Fred pass. It was so easy. Like we scored these two goals against teams who had bad defenses, and then someone does it to us, and
Yeah,
it proves that we don't have a very attentive backline, and there are chemistry issues.
yeah, I agree. So Varane directly goes in. Um, and a midfield three of Bruno, McTominay, and Casemiro with Mount on the right. I think we should sit Ericsson. I think he's tired, or give him time out of the team. And if Menu and Amrabat don't play, then we have to start Scott McTominay, right? So yeah,
Uh,
I think,
do you think we can like force some of our like players who have been targeted by the media or who haven't been feeling that well against Burnley? Because maybe we can help their morale a bit, or do you still want to like be sure of the win?
you're talking about Marcus Rashford. Um,
Yeah, like
I think he
Rashford.
starts.
Okay, because like even though Casemiro scored twice, I don't really think he's been happy with the way the midfield has been performing. So
Yeah,
I think I'll if we keep the same starting 11 as Bayern Munich, I think at least they can come out and prove themselves for a bit, at least for the first half.
yeah, but
Because
भाई वरान फिट है तो क्यों खिलाना है लिंडेलॉफ को?
yeah, I can see that. Like that switch is easy to make. I think Lindelof. I don't know how he is mentally, but he doesn't look like he's down that much. But I
I think
want
he's.
these players to like use this game to like get back on track. It's not that hard. They're expected to win easily.
I think
So
Martinez was solid yesterday. He had a
yeah,
decent game.
he did. And our backline was like Bayern wasn't that good actually. We never get those line breaking passes. How many times did we get the ball to Ericsson through their first line? It was obvious that we were like very free flowing if we had the confidence.
भाई मोसियाला भी कितना बॉल कैरी कर रहा था मिडफील्ड में, होली क्रैप.
I like I wanted him to do well because a lot of people look at peers like guys like this. They look for that one dip in performance, and a game against us, it's very easy for him to like you know just die from anxiety. But he did quite well actually, and the post saved two assists for him. I think both the time it was Musiala who assisted Sane. So he's a good guy, and actually we do not have a ball carrying number 10 like Madison
Mount,
at Tottenham. We like Musiala at Bayern. They have Odegaard at Arsenal. These kind of players just can dribble past, and it's like a Modric
Mount,
type run. Mount is
Mount.
like okay. I know he can do it, but he's not done it every time he's played for us up till now. You
He's
see,
just
he's
20.
been very
Man
one touch.
United, he has played like 15 minutes. Give him time.
Yeah, no, but even in the friendlies, he played very one touch. I like it didn't look like he was looking to dribble past or take on players. He was looking for the
हाँ तो
pass
वो तो
and last assist.
ब्रूनो के साइड में खेल रहा था ना, तो
Yeah,
कैसे होगा? आइदर ब्रूनो को राइट विंग खिलाओ, उसको सेंटर में खिलाओ, या फिर राइट में ब्रूनो को, राइट में माउंट को खिलाओ, सेंटर में ब्रूनो को खिलाओ. I think he
but
has to be on the forward side of the game rather than
yeah,
like playing as a six or a six and a half. I think he's a eight
but
or a ten.
that's the question, right? Does Ten Hag really want a ball carrying number 10? Because we see we are focusing on
Right
passing
Mount
a
is
lot.
almost the same. Huh?
We are focusing on passing a lot. We like even against Bayern, we were looking for one touch plays. You see, some of the instances when you saw us playing from the back, like we were keeping the ball in the air, even though our players are not really known for their aerial control.
Mm-hmm.
But we tried to pass it around in the air at the back still, even though could have been very safe grounded passes. So is it going to be like passing play a lot when we build up, or are we going to rely on ball carriers to get past the lines? We have Martinez to get those passes through, so I think passing is the option for us, but that really leaves a big hole in the versatility department. We do not have anyone to come and change the style of play, and
Mm.
it feels like we keep banging our heads against the wall. Every single one knows how we want to play.
Because
We
we
look at
have like
exploiting.
one wall. to bang our heads. Now the walls are beginning to thicken up. Now is like the time when we have to choose the colors, when we are
Yeah,
deciding on like which wall to paint with which color, right? So yeah,
that's
that's
why
very
I'm very excited for Amrabat because he's generally always been a ball carrier wherever he's played. So
yeah, and a disruptor at the same time.
yeah, he can
Mm.
win the ball and still like get past the press and get a pass away. He's
He
not
had,
really known. Yeah, yeah,
but
go
he
ahead.
hasn't, but he hasn't had a क्या बोलते हैं the प्री सीजन फ्रेंडली में वो प्रोटेस्ट किया, अभी वो इंजर्ड है. कितना महीना we can keep him like this?
Yeah,
Very
I
difficult.
mean, knowing Ten Hag, he's not going to jump the gun. He likes to take it
Yeah.
easy with injured players, and even not injured, like new players, he takes it very slow while he's
Hmm.
integrating them in the squad. I think it can hurt players who have been on the bench for long,
Hmm.
and they still end up training for like 2 months at United without having any game time.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, makes sense. We saw
it
that
all
with
just it all just culminates to everyone starting slow and the team starts slow, and then the opponent just starts really well, gets a goal past us and sits back and frustrates us for the next 70 minutes. It's like it's starting to become a cycle every single time.
I think the next three games, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Sheffield, 9 points we should target, right?
Yeah, like it should help us get back on track also, and even our UEFA ties against Copenhagen, so it's
Hmm.
not much of a like push. Even the Carabao Cup game, I think, is not against a big team. I think.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah. So
We are playing Crystal Palace in 3 days, like Premier League. उसके 3 दिन बाद Carabao Cup.
yeah, I saw that up till like 29th of October, we are playing every 3 days, or 29th of September, I think, something like that. We are playing every 3 days.
Hmm.
So
I
it's
think
going to
top
be
I think top three, top four is still on. Given that we don't drop points till City, and I think if we
yeah.
don't drop points against City, that would be a statement. I think Ten Hag should target that. But yeah, the point is, let's move to the Rashford debate. Everybody is debating around Marcus Rashford. Should we start Garnacho, who's like the brilliant young boy, or should we bench a player who was responsible for 2 out of the 3 goals yesterday?
I think we can start Garnacho next game, but I want Rashi to start because it's hard to understand where he is mentally because he's not that expressive.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to show it on his face. You kind of see it through his body language a lot.
Mhm.
So he looks like he is not really down. It looks like he's in that whiny phase. He knows he's performing bad, but he sort of thinks he deserves to start still. So
But you look at the sheer contributions that he has made. The 6 matches that he has started, he has 4 assists and a goal. Four,
yeah, I think yeah, 4 assists.
4 or 3 assists and a goal. I think those are not very bad numbers for a winger. Yes, 41 तो नहीं होगा इस साल. Obviously, that's like once in a generation thing. But I think Rashford, वही मेरा analogy, 97% of the times he can give you a very bad game, but वो 3% में वो कुछ कर देता है. And that's very hard to replicate from any other player. Right? We have seen this with Anthony, we have seen this with Pedestri yesterday. No matter their doggedness, end product Rashford से ही आता है हम लोग के squad में. Right? And
Yeah,
we should not take that for granted and मतलब jump on the bus कि Rashford को बिठाओ, Garnacho को खिलाओ. The 5 or 6 minutes that Garnacho played, I think he won a good free kick at a very good position, but that was not down to him. I think Garnacho was equally bad against Conrad Leimer. It was just that Conrad Leimer and Upamecano knew how to exploit Marcus Rashford.
yeah,
Right?
it was just a clinic by Bayern yesterday because they were playing the extremes really well. They were like on the edge every single time, and every single time they somehow managed to come back.
Thoughts on Hoyland? Now, very interesting question from Mohan. Hello, Mohan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Welcome to the warehouse. Thoughts on Through's. I think he says thoughts on Hoyland, but Through's on Hoyland likha hai, but I'd address it as thoughts on Hoyland. Thoughts on Hoyland, Unique? Um,
I think he I think he needs service a lot. I think
mm,
I think he only got that single chance all game and he scored
yeah.
from it. So thoughts on Hoyland is that he can give you the output if you get the deliveries to him. Thought what more do I think of him? I think we are starting to integrate him. Like Rashford is learning how to play with him slowly. I still
Mm,
think his hold up play is really good, but sometimes he misplaces passes a bit.
mm.
And I
That's
think it
down to him being severely juvenile. He's just 20 years old.
yeah, but still it you can also like relate some of that to chemistry issues, right? You don't know where you he wants you to be. So I think
I think
we'll
Hoyland was decent when it came to his finishing, when it came to his intent, but I don't see Hoyland pressing very much, which is a problem in my opinion. Yes, he can hold the ball. अब वो पहला 5 minute he tries to harass the defenders and then I see him falling off. गिर गुरा जा रहा था last में जाके did you
yeah.
see that?
Yeah, and I don't know if he's 100% yet because like
Hmm.
I think he's still nursing that back.
Hmm.
So, and I think we took the ball of Upamecano twice, right? But again, someone just fluffed the pass and we couldn't score. I think
Yeah.
McTominay के पैर वो तो slip तो क्या ही हो
स्लिप
रहा था
भाई
भाई.
मैकटोमिने ने स्लिप किया है 2 बार 3 मिनट में.
And he slipped in a chance where he was 100% going to score. We got the ball of Upamecano.
Yeah.
Hoyland passes to him and he slips, bro. All he had to do was chip the keeper. The keeper was right beside Hoyland.
चिप
It
भी
was
नहीं भाई काट के गोल मार देता.
yeah, it was really depressing this game. I don't want to register the last game as something we did last week, you know. It's okay, it was 4-3, but again the scoreline was a lie. It was a big lie.
Hmm. So Mohan says no, no, no. He presses a lot at the start, but Rashford doesn't help him. Yeah. So Rashford has to help Hoyland, but he did help Hoyland. वो ब्राइटन के अगेंस्ट भी असिस्ट मार दिया था भाई हॉयलैंड के साथ तो दैट्स 2 assists
Yeah.
इन 2 games या 1 assist does not count but केमिस्ट्री हो रहा है फॉर्म भाई धीरे धीरे
I
होगा.
think I think like he is getting more out of Rashford because he's the only one we have who can keep up with Rashford, I think,
या
in
पेस
the
में.
front line. Yeah. We didn't have anyone who could run with Rashford and I think Rashford has sort of forgot to pass because he's been alone most of the times. Even the
माउंट को पास करने से क्या करता वो लास्ट सीजन.
yeah and we think that they are uh, like they can feel the change but I think it just becomes habit after 3 years, you know. We have had slow number nines for a lot of time now. Only Ronaldo, I think, when he played up front was a bit like he was almost fast enough to cope with Rashford, but I don't really think you can really cope with Rashford. You need someone young and quick to stay with
We signed a half potential Ronaldo in my opinion. He was dead. Half उसका खत्म
him.
हो गया था. But
And I saw a comparison between him and Rashford's pressing, and it is sad, you know, that a 36-year-old can outpress Rashford
yeah.
at this point. He needs to up the work rate.
रैशफोर्ड का प्रेसिंग के ऊपर भाई आर्गुमेंट्स और नहीं सुनना मेरे को भाई. Not every player is excellent at everything, right? Otherwise
Yeah.
you'll have
But how many times, like you must have seen, how many times did their right back, like their center, uh,
yeah
like,
center back and left back Upamecano and
yeah,
Lima.
yeah, how many times was Limer standing wide and like
Yeah.
how many times did Upamecano played over Rashford to Limer? Why doesn't he pick him up? I don't understand. Like every single
And
time.
And a lot of like deficiencies that Rashford has are covered by Luke Shaw also. You'll have to realize that
Yeah,
as well. And Sergio
and
Reguilon, despite his attacking credibility, cannot defend.
yeah,
मतलब वो
and
एक
I think
इंस्टेंस में एग्जांपल में बोला था कि he defended very well was him going to the right flank and defending Gnabry. That showed a lot of intent and heart. But on a general level, I think Reguilon cannot defend.
yeah, I think
नहीं होगा.
Reguilon is trying to cover it up through his work rate. But
Hmm.
I think yesterday he was too scared of Sane. I think he didn't like. You will see when Dallo also played left back for us. We everyone kind of knew how Rashford likes to like tuck in. He doesn't really look over his shoulder to see if the fullback is
Hmm.
playing wide. So Dallo
Hmm.
would push up to the like center line. You know, he would push up to the left back, right back of the
At one
opponent to
point, both of
reduce.
our like fullbacks were inverting. Also, did you see that?
Yeah, but Reguilon, like he was too scared of Sane's run in behind him, so he just every single time Upamecano did that pass over Rashford, he just ran back towards the winger instead of trying to press the right back, you know, because he was too
और
scared of the through ball. I think.
yeah, अरे एक बार लाइमर थ्रू मार दिया था साने को फर्स्ट
Yeah,
3 या 4 मिनट में. Did you see that?
yeah, yeah, and I
अरे
think that is what we were trying to stop because Sane was very
seriously,
dangerous yesterday.
साने
So
was dangerous, but उससे डरना is भाई hope. भाई साने is a hopeless player in my. You like Sane, bro?
yeah, no, I don't like him. Like his attitude is very bad in my opinion, but some players just I mean they don't have the brain but their legs are just that good, you know, like पैरों के ऊपर he is like an idiot but unfortunately below the waist he has a lot of talent. Below the knees I'd like to say even that, but
Hmm.
like you have to deal with these players, you know. You okay, he's one of the like city rejects, let's say, but he still comes up with these moments, you know, because he is dangerous all in all. So you
Yeah.
have to kind of deal with them. But I think we just respected him too much, and I think
I
that's why.
swear वही तो मेरा point है कि उससे कैसे डर रहे थे भाई.
Yeah,
Sane
and
should be the
that gave
last
him
person you need
confidence,
to
I
turn
think.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that gave him the confidence because he looked at like he's being tracked, so he started to look for runs because he thought like him being active will break our play. So he
Hmm.
started pushing more. I
Hmm.
think we should
Yeah.
have just let him go like we let go of our right wing after Anthony absence against Brighton. Like we just didn't care about that area. अगर वहाँ पे डालो है तो गुड नहीं तो जाने दो.
बट कल राइट विंग ठीक था भाई. पहला 20 मिनट पेलेस्ट्री हरास किया है अल्फोंसो डेविस को. हरास
Yeah,
लिटरली.
yeah, and I think he has earned his the game against Burnley. I think इसको खिलाओ एक वीक टीम के
हाँ.
सामने.
माउंट के अगेंस्ट यार भाई वो बहुत मिस भी किया है भाई. वो एरिक्सन वाला 4 मिनट में चांस. फिर एक पूरा ओपन नेट था. वो पैर एक थोड़ा सा डाइव मार के पैर मारने से वो घुसा देता बॉल. वो भी
अरे
मिस
वो
किया.
कमिटमेंट इश्यूज तो पूरे टीम में ही है ब्रो. रैशफोर्ड नेवर कमिट्स टू अ बॉल व्हिच लाइक फोर्सेस हिम टू टर्न बैक अराउंड, यू नो. And did you see he started to hold up play at the halfway line? Like that's some Anthony shit, bro. Like you are Rashford, you need to run, you know. We work so hard, we get the ball to you and you look for the cutback at the half line.
रैशफोर्ड को थोड़ा आईक्यू तो कम है भाई. उसका आईक्यू इशू थोड़ा
Yeah.
है.
Yeah, and I think he makes it look worse because he's not that expressive. So everyone thinks like he's like this a brick of a person who has nothing going on in his head.
माइनस फीडिंग चिल्ड्रन. बट
Yeah,
मार्शियल
yeah,
कैसा लगा तेरे को? आई थिंक मार्शियल वाज शार्प ब्रो. 5-6 मिनट
yeah.
वो जो खेला.
But how much of it was like Bayern being tired? Like Bayern's subs came very late, I think. At least the ones in their midfield. They were very tired. Are like if you put Hoyland there, bring Hoyland back after 60 minutes, and he like a fresh Hoyland bullied Gabriel and Saliba, you know. So
Yeah.
I don't really feel that confident about Martial being like good again. I don't really think he is good. I think there's some issue because Ten Hag like from two press conferences has been saying that whenever Martial is fit, he's good. So I think he wants to say that Martial isn't fit yet. And उसको क्या हुआ है मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. Like what sort of injury like makes,
Lasts for 2 years,
yeah, I don't understand. Like
which is not even an
yeah,
ACL or anything. मतलब जो last करना चाहिए.
yeah, I think someone's left a scalpel inside his leg, and people just they are just trying to find where he left it.
Or he's just purely shit and मतलब Ten Hag can't say it out loud.
Maybe कुछ तो उसका like physiology altering ये हो गया है, सर्जरी हो गया है, मे बी some of his knee surgeries or maybe one of his injuries before कुछ तो change हो गया है उसके अंदर biologically, because he feels like he wants to do more but वो limited ही लग रहा है मेरे को.
तो हम लोग को एक तो लाना पड़ेगा फिर जनवरी में 34 35 ईयर ओल्ड
हम्म.
ओडिया निकालो टाइप किसी को तो लाना पड़ेगा. हेलो.
बट अभी कौन सा प्रोफाइल का लाएंगे, अपने पास बुली तो है अभी.
अरे जस्ट भाई किसको खिलाएंगे उसको कुछ हो गया तो मार्शियल को खिलाना पड़ेगा.
प्ले मेकर टाइप नंबर 9 नहीं चलेगा अपने सिस्टम में, मेरे को तो लग रहा है, बिकॉज
जाओ फिलिक्स थप्पड़ मार देगा फिर रैशफोर्ड को साइड में आके. नहीं 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 वैसा
या
टाइप का नहीं चाहिए यार. हेजूस टाइप का कोई चाहिए जो एकदम बॉल कंट्रोल करेगा मिडिल ऑफ द पार्क और रैशफोर्ड को लेफ्ट पे पास देगा.
या बट अगेन वो होल्ड अप प्ले बीस्ट अभी कोई मेरे को लग तो नहीं रहा है अफोर्डेबल रेंज में. डिड
वरना
मेहदी तरेमी लीव पोर्टो? आई थिंक ही लेफ्ट, राइट?
क्या क्या
तरेमी लेफ्ट पोर्टो, राइट? समबडी बॉट हिम.
गॉड नोस भाई. अबे
Like he
टैरेमी इज
was,
ओल्ड भाई.
no, he's only 30. I think he's
अरे
30,
ओल्ड
31.
उंगली थोड़ी होता है वो.
अरे Kane is
कैसेमीरो
31. He's the same age as
कैसेमीरो
Harry Kane.
अरे भाई हैरी केन कुछ नहीं किया कल बाय द वे. एक
Yeah,
अच्छा
I
पास और
knew.
एक पेनल्टी मारा है.
I knew he wasn't going to do anything. He's not a big game player. He's a serial choker.
कैसे केन भाई एक अच्छा पास मारा. आई थिंक डालो क्लियर्ड इट ऑफ द मतलब इन फ्रंट ऑफ ऐसे डाइव मार के क्लियर किया था.
Yeah, and he tried to like play an early ball to Sane and he overhit that in the second half. I think those
हम्म.
are the only two passes he did. Like he was coming back and helping the midfield a lot, but
हम्म.
as in terms of output, I don't really think कुछ था. पेनल्टी भी सेव हो जाता पता है, ओनाना सेकंड गेस्ट
हाँ
इंस्टेंट.
थोड़ा सा
ओनाना
ऊपर हाथ कर देने से हो जाता वो सेव.
नहीं, ओनाना वेटेड. आई थिंक ओनाना शुड हैव गैम्बल्ड टू द राइट इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस.
नहीं
वो
बट
थोड़ा सा,
वो एक्सपेक्ट किया था और वो ऊपर मारा भी तो था.
हाँ, जाने दो. ही ट्रेन्स फॉर पेनल्टीज. आई थिंक नोबडी एक्सपेक्टेड ओनाना टू
भाई
सेव.
एटलीस्ट ही इज डाइविंग ब्रो. पीपल आर
या
कंपेयरिंग डेविड डे गea विद ओनाना. वो ब्राइटन वर्सेस मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड एफए कप का सेमीफाइनल तेरे को याद है क्या. डेहेया
सब
का
सब गलत डायरेक्शन में है.
सब
सबके सब
गलत डायरेक्शन भाई. आधे में ही इज नॉट डाइविंग.
एंड वो आई थिंक somebody had given him a chit, right? उसके स्कार्फ के
हाँ.
नीचे था वो, उसके वाटर बॉटल के साइड में. he would go there and he would read something, and I was thinking from the first penalty like, okay, I think we have some inside information here, and proceeds to dive for, at the wrong side for every single penalty, right? So I don't know
एवरी
what the
सिंगल
hell he was
पेनल्टी.
reading. Either the goalkeeping coach is an absolute idiot.
भाई
Sack that coach first.
how can you be such a good shot stopper and be such bad at penalties.
I think like you listen to his interviews, like he trusts people a lot, and he doesn't really like to like वो fox in the box type होता है ना, एमिलियानो मार्टिनेज जैसे, जो खुद
हाँ.
के दिमाग बहुत लगाते हैं. ये खुद का दिमाग लगाने वाला कीपर नहीं लगता है मुझे. That's why he's really good at what he does, because he just doesn't think about things very much. He's very in the moment. तो
और
उसको किसी ने तो आके बोल दिया कि ये चिट में पढ़ के वो डायरेक्शन में कूद जा, और वो कूद गया और हर बार गलत हो गया उसका.
अबे यार बट वो अगर इतना, नो डिसरेस्पेक्ट टू, sorry,
No,
De
it's
Gea
just
has
his
been,
nature, it's just his nature. You can't
De
help
Gea
it.
has been a brilliant servant to the club. But वो अगर इतना अच्छा होता भाई, कोई तो उसको साइन करता, कोई तो होता
Yeah,
उसको साइन करने के लिए. भाई स्टिल
I think
जॉबलेस.
uh, the only time he was really like attacked by clubs was during that fax machine debacle, right? Madrid wanted
हाँ,
him.
रियल मैड्रिड का.
Yeah, that was the
भाई,
only time I saw people coming for De Gea. After that, I like he was never targeted by anyone.
हम्म. बट वो
Maybe
टर्की
just
को एक बार को देंगे चांस, कैराबाओ वैराबाओ में शायद. देखते हैं वो
yeah,
कैसा है.
Crystal Palace ke against I really think Bayern will start, and he's really good. Like I've seen, like I started watching more of his games. Like he's not really the long pass kind of guy, but he can move the ball around a lot in a small area. He's not
हाँ भाई,
really Onana level, but he's a better shot stopper than Onana. I really
हम
think
लोग
that.
का यूरोपा लीग कैंपेन याद है मोरिनियो के अंडर जो हम लोग जीता था.
Yeah, Romero के साथ.
हाँ, रोमेरो यूरोपा लीग भाई फुल बचा है. यू रिमेम्बर दैट गेम अगेंस्ट रोस्टोव इन रशिया. भाई येलो कलर का जर्सी था, शायद क्वार्टर फाइनल खेला था या फिर राउंड ऑफ 16 खेले थे हम लोग.
Yeah, yeah. No, but like Romero was really different to De Gea as a keeper. He was very
हम्म.
active. Like De
हम्म.
Gea wasn't as active as Romero. You saw Romero claiming crosses a lot. De Gea just doesn't do that.
रोमेरो पेनल्टी भी बचा है भाई. 2014 वर्ल्ड
Yeah.
कप हॉलैंड को निकाला था. मैं रोया था उस दिन. पर ठीक है, चलता है ब्रो. तो और कुछ बोलना चाहेगा अबाउट लाइक द गेम विद बर्नली? व्हाट आई वी एक्सपेक्टिंग? आई तो
I
एक्सपेक्टेड 2-0 विन फॉर अस.
yeah
हंसी आया सबको, बट स्टिल
yeah we should
जीत.
win that game easily. Like you can see now that company has tried to implement a low block and he's really bad at it. Like he's really bad at the low block. We really thought Burnley was playing like going to play this attractive football and like company was
भाई,
this genius. But no, you don't do a Leverkusen in the Premier League. You get dominated.
बर्नली का वो फितरत ही वही है प्रीमियर लीग में, लो ब्लॉक खेलने का. यू कैन
Yeah.
ब्रिंग द शॉन डाइक आउट ऑफ बर्नली, बट यू कैन नॉट ब्रिंग द बर्नली आउट ऑफ शॉन डाइक.
but
वो फितरत ही वही है. वो टिकी टाका करे लीग वन में, कुछ भी करे, प्रीमियर लीग में आके उनको डाइक बॉल ही खेलना है.
yeah, but again, we've been so bad right now. You don't know how aggressive Burnley is going to come. Like,
नहीं भाई,
but
बट अगर उन लोग लो ब्लॉक किए देन फुल नॉटिंघम फॉरेस्ट मोड भाई.
yeah,
नॉटिंघम फॉरेस्ट लो ब्लॉक कर दिया था 2 गोल के बाद. फिर तो फाड़ दिए थे नॉटिंघम फॉरेस्ट को, कंटिन्यूअस अटैकिंग.
yeah,
वैसे ही करना
and
है.
वो वैसा रैशी मेरे को नहीं लगता अपने को देखने मिलेगा पूरा साल अभी. I don't know. एक गेम like अरे
है भाई.
what I want to say is like you analyze these games, right? Like
हम्म.
Ten Hag must have seen that game. There must have been a discussion about how everyone played, what play style
हम्म.
everyone did, and why does why doesn't Rashi think that he played well when he played like that? Why does he want to go back to how he played before those games and after those games? Like it was one of his best performances, I think, as a winger, not even as a goal scorer. He looked so much better as a winger. It was such an all-round performance from him. And still
हम्म.
he himself doesn't want to play like that now. I'm starting to think it like that.
भाई ये नैरेटिव कितना डिफरेंट होता है, मतलब ये, मतलब हाँ सही है. मतलब यू गाइस क्रिटिसाइज रैशफोर्ड एंड एवरीथिंग, बट इफ दैट क्या बोलते हैं, दैट चांस, अगर वो आर्सेनल के अगेंस्ट फॉर एग्जांपल वो दूसरा वाला गोल मार देता, ठीक है, जो रैम्सडेल बचाया, और फिर वो ब्राइटन के अगेंस्ट भी वो असिस्ट काउंट कर जाता, और कल का गो असिस्ट काउंट तो किया, सेकंड गोल के लिए भी वो था, और एक और जो वो क्रॉस मारा पेलेस्ट्री गोल मार देता, द कॉन्वर्सेशन वुड हैव बीन टोटली डिफरेंट अबाउट मार्कस रैशफोर्ड. You have to consider the quality at the end of his balls as well. Bhai, it's not like he is absolutely blanking. He's producing less. He's taking on more defenders and being a little selfish. But भाई रोनाल्डो क्या किया है लेफ्ट फ्लैंक में हम लोग के लिए इतना साल ना। यस ऑब्वियसली रोनाल्डो का क्वालिटी बहुत ज्यादा हाई है रैशफोर्ड से, बट ही इज आवर स्टार प्लेयर भाई। उसको क्यों मतलब इतना कर रहा है पास, धीरे धीरे
Yeah,
करेगा।
but you say that, like, let's look at other opposite of this, like, dream scenario is that he passes the ball to Hoyland. Like, I think they were 2-on-2 in that case. He gets
हम्म
the ball to Hoyland instead of taking it to the byline. Hoyland scores his first goal. I think
हम्म।
he took two shots also yesterday, which
नहीं,
were
मैं
clear passes
मार्शियल वाला का
instead.
बोल रहा था, जो वो शॉट मारा ना, फिर मार्शियल
Yeah,
मारा
yeah, yeah,
रैम्सडेल का।
yeah, yeah. No, what I'm trying to say is you can find moments where his pass should have gone in, but you can also find moments where he should have passed.
ही शुड हैव पास, यस। एंड दैट इज माय एंटायर आर्गुमेंट कि उसको चांस दो भाई, ही इज मेकिंग मिस्टेक्स, ही इज नॉट बीइंग, मैं कैसे समझाऊं भाई, ही इज नॉट बेटर देन गर्नाचो, आई एम सॉरी। गर्नाचो
But
इज अ
but you
वेरी
need
गुड
to
प्लेयर बट
see
हाँ।
why this narrative has formed is if everything else was okay, like if he was tracking back on runs, if he was defensively sound, if there was no like loss from him doing what he is doing, I think it would have been a very even conversation. But why it sort of starts skewing to one side and people like turn this into an agenda is because his overall output has also reduced. He's not tracking back. He looks tired. The mentality has just, I think, disappeared from everyone essentially. But again, still
Yeah,
we are talking about Rashford. So all of these negatives just combine and people just forget about the fact that, like, yes, he's been assisting a lot of goals recently, but look kya bolte ki he's like starting to drop his shoulders. He gives up after the first goal. If he gets a chance to score, obviously he's going to score, but he doesn't actively look for it. He just give up कर देता है वो goals score करने के बाद fight back की mentality नहीं है. And it just starts becoming an all-round discussion, and obviously you can't hold that discussion because he's not really doing well when we consider the all-round performance. Mentality is missing a lot, and even like Lichai's mindset is now like he's breaking down. I think you saw a little bit of it yesterday,
हम्म,
and कितने देर वो भी होल्ड अप करेगा
होएगा भाई, जीतने तो दो, एक दो मैच भाई। बायर्न म्यूनिख के अगेंस्ट 3 गोल मारे, काम डाउन इज व्हाट आई से टू एवरीबॉडी भाई। वी कुड हैव बीन
do you really
thrashed।
think do you
हाँ।
really think that
हम्म।
वो 3 goal were due down to the quality of our players, or
नो,
was it
बट
really
बायर्न के
Bayern
भी
like
2 गोल वर नॉट
we-
डाउन टू देयर क्वालिटी एज वेल।
yeah, but again, you let in easy goals first of all, which is derogatory to your own quality, and then the goals you're scoring are not that well made in the first place. So where do you sort of find the positive in that game?
पॉजिटिव्स आई से भाई कि कैसे मैं समझाऊं, द आई सॉ अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ इंटेंट फ्रॉम एवरीबॉडी। आई मीन हम लोग 3-1 होने के बाद भी we were attacking, मतलब we were making chances and everything, that's what
Yeah.
led to the second goal। and फिर चौथा गोल खाने के बाद भी 4-2 होने के बाद भी 1-2 मिनट बाकी होने के बाद भी garnacho is running at the defense। मतलब कुछ तो है भाई, it's not completely dead, मतलब खत्म नहीं हो गए हैं हम लोग। Bayern could have
Yeah,
finished us
I
yesterday।
can I can I can understand that perspective, but the thing is अभी context भी बहुत खराब है यूनाइटेड के अगेंस्ट अराउंड.
हम्म।
So I think the people who are feeling really down, जो on the brink of giving up है, I think their feelings are justified. ऐसा नहीं है कि they are missing something, क्योंकि it's the third loss in a row, and it's not like we are losing by 10% games. It's not a 99, 98 performance every single time. We had that against Arsenal, and people didn't really care about losing to Arsenal in that way. Like,
हम्म।
many of the United fans were actually happy about the way we played against Arsenal. But
Yeah,
the way
that's
we
what।
lost against Brighton and this game yesterday, I think people
Yeah,
it's okay if we take time to play better football, but if we
Hmm.
take time and we still play bad football, I think that's going to hurt fans more, because अच्छा खेल के हारे तो we have seen people don't really care, but बुरा खेल के ड्रॉ भी मिलती ना, तो it's not really good for like our progression as a club.
हम्म बट कितना ही अच्छा खेल लेते उन्हीं मतलब वी आर प्लेइंग बायर्न म्यूनिख एट द अलियांज अरीना चैंपियंस लीग में कितना ही
Yeah,
अच्छा
but
खेल कितनी
no,
टीम्स बायर्न के अगेंस्ट अच्छा खेलते हैं
see, you
फ्यू
can expect them to win the game. I think there's nothing wrong in expecting Bayern to win at their home. But I think I expected United to like उनके दिल में डर बैठाना था अपने को, क्योंकि होम गेम का डर बैठाना होता है कि यार हाउ डू वी गो टू ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड आफ्टर दिस इवन दो वी वन हियर. And I don't really think they are scared of us right now. Like they know they aren't playing well. Like you see, they knew Bayern themselves knew they weren't playing that well. They knew Tuchel wasn't on the sidelines. They weren't going to improve throughout the game, maybe. But they weren't really scared of our players. And I think it. I don't know why. I think it's down to mentality, maybe. But you were saying that Musiala was just running at us. Like he doesn't run at us because like he knows that he can get past at least two players. That's what I'm trying to say. And वो confidence break करना ज़्यादा important था मेरे लिए, जो उनमें था ना हमारी टीम को लेके, that we can handle United like what we did to Barcelona, right? Even though we didn't win that game against them on Camp Nou, but they were scared of United after
या
that game.
या
And
एब्सोल्युटली
we
आई
and वो गेम के बाद फिर जब वो ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड पे आए, फिर we destroyed them, right? So and I
बट ये
think
कितना सिमिलर सीजन
this,
है मतलब
yeah.
on a fundamental level yes the points are very different right now from last year. Europa League first match we played a horrible game against Celta Vigo.
Yeah,
याद है तो वो वी प्ले अ हॉरिबल गेम अगेंस्ट बायर्न म्यूनिख यस मतलब हम लोग पहला दो मैच हार के नेक्स्ट दो मैच जीते थे उसमें प्रीमियर लीग में
yeah,
बट वो लिवरपूल के अगेंस्ट वो फ्लूक सा परफॉर्मेंस में बोलूंगा एंड देन वी वर अगेंस्ट साउथहैम्पटन वन गोल 1-0 मर्चेंट्स राइट तो
yeah. But I think the saving grace last year was people were ready to give the manager, like he was a new manager, right? So लोगों
हम्म
का रिजल्ट के तरफ देखने का पर्सपेक्टिव बहुत अलग था पिछले साल. एंड
हम्म
even better, even though we lost against Brighton and Brentford, like when we beat
हम्म
Arsenal, like it just changed the whole like mentality around the club. Then again we beat, I think we first beat Liverpool and then we beat Arsenal. So वो
आई
जो,
थिंक वी बीट साउथहैम्पटन देन वी बीट आर्सेनल. So after
yeah,
5 points, we had nine last year, and then we lost against City. I think वैसा ही कुछ हुआ था. So
yeah,
we might
and
have 12 in कितना 7. हाँ इस साल भी 12-7 हो सकता है नेक्स्ट दो मैच जीत के.
yeah, but again, hope थोड़ा सा मिसिंग है इस बार. I don't know why. Like maybe एक्सपेक्टेशन बहुत ज्यादा लेके घुसे थे लोग सीजन में,
हम्म
एंड वो सब शैटर हो गया अभी. तो वो रीसेट जो, like someone asked Tenak this question, like are you going to reset after this Bayern game to refresh everything. I think टीम से ज्यादा फैन बेस को रीसेट होना नेसेसरी है आफ्टर टुडेज गेम, क्योंकि अभी ये जो टफ रन ऑफ गेम्स था ना, ये खत्म हो गया. अभी आगे के गेम थोड़े चिल करने के गेम्स है. तो लेट्स सी if the squad feels, that's what I want from the next game, right? I want the team to leave that game like refreshed with something new. Like everyone needs to be fresh after that game. Like ठीक है, एक नील भी जीते ना, but there should be something to look forward to for the Crystal Palace game after tomorrow's game. Like
yeah
enough hopes been squandered for the past three games now, because we get into these games hoping to see some style of play, and it never
hmm.
happens. So I want, even though we only score one goal tomorrow, the process that Tenak has been talking about needs to show tomorrow at least. Tomorrow, I
Hmm.
think. I mean, like the Burnley game 2 days after this. So
Hmm.
ठीक है,
Um,
आई नो इट्स इजी गेम, बट जीते नहीं जीते यार, फुटबॉल अच्छा खेलो, मेरा वही पॉइंट है. जीतने
Hmm.
तो वाले हैं ही. The goal will come as we talked about the talk during the Brighton game also. The goal will come. I just want to,
Defend well, bhai. We are
yeah,
conceding too many goals. Too many.
yeah. We lack identity right now. That's my whole like crux. We lack a lot of identity. I think Ten Hag needs to show us something about the Ten Hag ball tomorrow. I think he
Hmm.
has the players to do it now. And
Hmm.
even though the players are not 100%, the opponent is not 100% either. It's not a very
Yeah.
tough opponent. Yeah.
By a 70 or 60% Rashford can be enough to like dislodge Burnley from turf more and like throw them out of the water.
Yeah. What I want him to do is just score an early goal, assist an early goal, and then Ten
Hmm.
Hag to bench him for the rest of the game. Too bad Javi. Let Garnacho play. क्योंकि I think some
Garnacho को भी बहुत
mentality,
कम time मिल रहा है.
yeah, some mentality issues can creep up there also because सब लोग sad है and the players who are on the bench start to feel like they could have been made that change. तो वो थोड़ा reality check के लिए they need some game time also. कि They need to
और
gauge how
एक्चुअली में ना
they are.
garnacho थोड़ा हरामी भी है. Like he is little indisciplined that way.
Yeah, yeah.
वो
But
वेप लेके पकड़ा गया था. He's a sweet
yeah,
guy, but देखते हैं भाई. Rashford is the only like non-bratty Manchester United player right now.
yeah. But like he off the field is really good, but then on the field he behaves like these people off the field, right?
नहीं नहीं भाई. Give him time. He's our best player यार. ऐसे मत कर. Rashford को
Yeah,
थोड़ा
yeah,
time. At least we and the three people that are watching us can be the only positive people about Rashford on the internet. He was our saving grace last season. उसके बिना चैंपियंस लीग ही नहीं खेलते हम लोग. To be honest.
yeah. I mean, it's just really a sad vibe around the club right now. So the
Hmm.
one who pokes his head out will get like smashed by the people. And Rashford is that kind of a guy always. He's been the guy who stands out in that team. So वो frustration उस पे निकलता है हर बार.
हाँ तो भाई तेरा सबसे मतलब होनार बत यू हैव लाइक टू किड्स. वन इज वेरी होनार नाइस. 99.9% स्कोर करता है. एक बार गलती से 60% स्कोर कर लिया. एंड ही हैज अनफॉर्चुनेटली बीटन योर बेवड़ा यंगर ब्रदर जो कंटिन्यूअसली 60% मार्क्स स्कोर करता है. ही इज गॉटन बीटन.
Yeah,
तो ऑब्वियसली मम्मी उस पे ज्यादा नाराज होगी. भाई तू तो एक एकमात्र अच्छा लड़का था. हाउ डिड
yeah,
यू become like him? So yeah, I understand your point, but क्या करे. We have to support our club, dude. तेरे तो वो न्यूज़
yeah,
देखा क्या? ये लास्ट मतलब और 3-4 मिनट ही डिस्कस करेंगे फिर जाना है.
yeah.
कि शेख जसीम एंड सर जिम want to play the long game. They don't mind. They're still interested.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I read about that. Like Sheikh Jassim has instructed the Glazers that he wants the club in under like in his power before the January window or something like that, and he doesn't care if it takes that amount of time. They just want the club before the January window, and
भाई
क्या ही कर
वो
लोगे एक विंडो में यार.
भाई बट वो अंदर से तड़प रहा होगा. मतलब ही इज अ यूनाइटेड फैन. मतलब ही
Yeah,
जर्सी में फोटो देखा हूं मैं. बट
yeah,
देखा है तो वो वाला फोटो.
yeah. They can, and that's why I like want the Qatari ownership because people always say कि भाई ये Jim Ratcliffe is also a United fan, but you don't know who's the bigger United fan. And if
नहीं नहीं,
one of
जिम
them,
रैटक्लिफ इज द बिगर यूनाइटेड फैन. भाई वो 1999 कैंप न्यू में गया था.
अरे बट इसका भी तो स्टेडियम में ही फोटो है ना. यू नेवर नो कौन सी मैच देखने आया था शेख जसीम. पता नहीं डार्बी में आया होगा जो अपन जीते थे 2-1.
अबे
राइट.
यार.
तो पता नहीं. लाइक आई स्टिल डोंट नो इज द बिगर फैन. लाइक वो बोलता है कि आई ओनली बॉट द चेल्सी सीजन टिकट फॉर माय किड्स एंड आई कुडंट ट्रैवल टू
हाँ
यूनाइटेड.
उसके बीवी बच्चे चेल्सी फैंस है.
या
भाई मेरे भी बीवी बच्चे आर्सेनल फैंस हुए. मैं सीजन टिकट होल्डर हूंगा. आई विल वेयर माय यूनाइटेड स्कार्फ एंड जर्सी. सिट एट देयर एंड. बट
या
सीजन टिकट तो
बट
लेना
देन
है भाई.
ही ट्राइज टू बाय चेल्सी एंड नहीं यार. यू डोंट लाइक Obviously you can say मैं मेरे बच्चे के लिए buy कर रहा हूँ, but what the hell, this is some oil
लंदन
club.
के साथ मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड का ऐसा घटिया कनेक्शन क्यों होता है? ये क्या बोलते हैं, मतलब बेकम यूनाइटेड फैन था बट लंदन का था, उसके बच्चे आर्सेनल को सपोर्ट करते हैं। ये जिम रैटक्लिफ मैन यूनाइटेड फैन होके चेल्सी को खरीदना चाहता है। ये मेसन माउंट चेल्सी से यूनाइटेड, इट्स अ zigzag थिंग विद मैनचेस्टर
हाँ,
यूनाइटेड एंड लंदन।
and मेरे को क्या डर है पता है क्या, कि the Papa Glazer buys the club and his sons
ग्लेजर,
destroy the club, right? Like Papa Glazer bought the club, right?
हाँ मैल्कॉम ग्लेजर।
Yeah, yeah, and like Beta Glazers then come into power, and then you know how they are. तो ये मेरे को पूरा फैमिली जब तक यूनाइटेड को सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा है ना, ऐसे लोग, ऐसे आदमियों के हाथ में दो भाई क्लब।
हाँ
क्योंकि
भाई, चेल्सी सीजन टिकट होल्डर्स, भाई इज बुड्ढा जिम रैटक्लिफ, वो 20 साल मैक्स रहेगा वो टॉप में।
वही तो, 20 साल तो वो क्या बोलते हैं, विद गुड हेल्थ होगा।
हाँ वही।
एनीथिंग कैन हैपन, यू नो। अगर वो 10 साल के बाद वी सॉर्ट ऑफ अंडरस्टैंड दैट द क्लब्स गोइंग टू हिज वाइफ हु इज अ हार्डकोर चेल्सी फैन, फिर तो खत्म ही हो गए भाई अपन।
हाँ या, वेरी ट्रू।
Maybe he gets divorced and the wife gets the club in the divorce, and it'll be so bad, my god। इसलिए ना, ये जब तक खानदानी यूनाइटेड फैन नहीं आता ना कोई, उसको मत दो भाई क्लब।
मेरे को बट मतलब स्टेट ओनरशिप, लाइक आई सेड, दैट्स अनदर डेज डिस्कशन, थोड़ा सा मतलब प्रॉब्लम लगता है। यू लुक एट द रूट्स ऑफ मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड। He started as Newton Heath, Lancashire, Yorkshire Railways, a proper like stalwart club out of Salford, which I visited, and this is the most dangerous neighborhood in the entirety of United Kingdom. Literally rail tracks, stabists, and pani, nali. That
Yeah,
is
yeah,
where Manchester United have come from essentially, and
come
you
from।
bring in this trillionaire from Qatar, मतलब इवन मार्टिन एडवर्ड्स एंड ऑल वेरी हम्बल ओनर्स, मतलब हमारे पास कभी भी उतना पैसा नहीं था। वी वॉन ऑन इंटेंट एंड एवरीथिंग, वी वॉन।
Yeah, but do you think Sheikh Jassim will be like that? Like he will be a flair owner? Like I don't. He's hasn't really showed any amount of flair, like to me at least. And yeah, people like to like. ठीक है, you know, the Middle East gets judged a lot in today's like era, and people just ignore the fact that it's not actually a state ownership. They are like, हाँ उनका तो connection होता है, उनका तो हो ही जाएगा, but it is incredibly
कनेक्शन तो
judgy,
है
right?
भाई, ही इज द
Yeah,
क्राउन,
but
ही वाज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स सन, ही इज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स,
yeah,
मतलब ही वाज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स सन। या
I
ही इज अ,
understand that fact,
ही
but it's not out and out ownership, and और वो इतना मतलब क्या बोलते हैं, वो ऐसा फॉक्सी टाइप का आदमी भी नहीं है रे, झोल वगैरह करने वाला। ही इज वेरी
अब
स्ट्रेट
कौन
फॉरवर्ड।
बोला भाई वो बैंक चलाता है? ही इज अ बोर्ड
वही
मेंबर
तो।
ऑफ क्रेडिट स्विस।
या
दुनिया का
ही इज अ
सारा
वेरी,
ब्लैक मनी वहां पे ही है भाई।
बट ही इज अ वेरी लाइक स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड गाय इन माय ओपिनियन। ही इज नॉट लाइक फॉक्स इन द, he's not like, he doesn't at least portray himself as that as much as like people like to think. But I there is an element of like judgment against the Middle East also, which like stops me from really getting on the bus, you know. Ki maybe we are just like profiling him, we're projecting other people's opinions on him, but that's why I don't really go against state ownership like supporters. So
हम्म।
but like I talked to you, like we talked some days back, I think authority is important, and I can see authority under him, and it's really hard for me to see authority
More
under
than, yeah,
Radcliffe.
say, yeah, Ratcliffe के अंडर अथॉरिटी नहीं होगा। प्लस he has a 50-50 thing with sports franchises, मतलब brilliant at Mercedes but horrendous with क्या टीम है उसका, नैंटेस, नैंटे ही है तो
Yeah.
उसका।
And you don't know how much of involvement Ineos has with Mercedes, you know, because Mercedes already like,
No, they own 50% of the team, I think.
yeah, but like like Toto Wolff isn't like, he doesn't get pushed around very easily, right?
No,
He's a
yeah,
very
Toto Wolff is a very dangerous character
strong
on
real,
the.
yeah, he's a very strong leader. So
Hmm.
you don't really know how much of their success is down to
एरिक टेन
Toto's authority.
एरिक टेन हैग अगर 2-3 प्रीमियर लीग जीत गया ना, टोटो वुल्फ ऑफ फुटबॉल, आई एम टेलिंग यू, एरिक टेन
But
हैग।
but Mercedes got a free year to test that new type of engines before F1 switched from V10, right? So Mercedes already came with an edge in the new era. So ऐसा edge हमको दे दो,
हाँ
एक
है ना,
training program.
है तो भाई, गानाचो, पेलेस्ट्री, माउंट, एज
नहीं
ही
नहीं
एज
नहीं
है।
मैं what I'm saying is कि मतलब
ओ लाइक एज
शायद ऐसा,
एज।
हाँ, सो आई थिंक कुछ ब्रेक मिल गया, इंटरनेशनल ब्रेक में कोई ट्रेनिंग सेशन मिल गया, जो व्हेन नोबडी एल्स इज ट्रेनिंग, राइट, एवरीवन एल्स इज फोकसिंग ऑन डिफरेंट थिंग्स एंड यूनाइटेड इज ट्रेनिंग फॉर लाइक 3-4 months, और मे बी सम
वो तो
प्लेयर्स ऑफ
परफेक्ट
यूनाइटेड आर
होगा
लाइक,
भाई अगर यूरोज में अपना कोई प्लेयर सिलेक्ट नहीं हुआ। सब
हाँ
इतना
सी,
गंदा परफॉर्म किए कि यूरोज में किसी का सिलेक्शन नहीं हुआ। भाई इंग्लैंड में
हाँ,
रैशफोर्ड को नहीं सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं बाय द वे इस
या
बार।
इफ ही like if the narrative against him continues to be strong, I think Southgate will go for Grealish, because
ग्रीलिश इज
then
नॉट
as
इन द स्क्वाड।
I think he is, but I've never seen him play. Like, do you remember seeing Grealish in the England shirt?
यूरोज में लास्ट देखा था।
Yeah, see, I don't even remember how he looks in that England jersey anymore.
अबे
How
यार,
much of that is how
मोस्ट
much of that is
ओवररेटेड
me
प्लेयर्स है।
not like caring about international football, and how much of that is like Rashford getting picked? I don't know, but let's hope like we get some edge, because
अरे
अभी players भी वापस आ रहे हैं, तो टाइम चाहिए अपने को.
वो वो देखा है ना, मतलब वो लैड बाइबल एक तो करता है, वो बीच में टेप बिठा के स्ट्रांगली अग्री और स्ट्रांगली डिसएग्री, तो वो देखा है कभी?
नहीं नहीं, like I
हाँ,
couldn't
तो दे
really.
ब्रिंग लाइक टू फेमस लाइक पीपल, फॉर एग्जांपल देयर इज अ वीडियो विद वो मैन सिटी का वो टकला फैन है ना, एक तो क्या नाम है उसका, अबे यार, God knows, not Broovy, who is like the handsome Man City fan, and there's Robbie from AFTV. उन दोनों को बिठाया है, and Robbie says कि I rate Grealish from Aston Villa, but not at Man City, and that is what my stance around Grealish is also. I think Aston Villa Grealish was absolutely brilliant, but ये एकदम ही Man City का पूरा overhyped है।
Aston Villa में he was playing centrally, right?
नो मतलब सेंटर टू लेफ्ट, मतलब बीच बीच में आके खेलता भाई। वो लिवरपूल के अगेंस्ट 7-2 में क्या खेला था, दैट इज लाइक वन गेम दैट आई लव टू वॉच समटाइम्स हाइलाइट्स में, कभी कभी।
Yeah, but अभी वो पेप के सिस्टम में आया था, एंड उसको क्या बोलते हैं, वैसे देखा जाए ना, people that like to troll our players, they like to troll 100 million Beyblade, right? But the 100 million Beyblade had a better season than the 100 million Beckham
वॉकर
from Man
ड्रिंकर
City.
भाई,
He scored
अल्कोहलिक।
only
ही
I
स्कोर्ड
think he
एज
scored one
गोल्स
and one
करना।
assist, ऐसा कुछ था. Yeah, नहीं नहीं, ग्रीलिश का फर्स्ट सीजन, आई थिंक इट वाज 1 goal 1 assist in the whole season
तो garnacho से
when they
5
bought him
टाइम्स,
for a, yeah, and basically
उससे
in
ज्यादा
the
गोल
first
वरान
three games
मारता है।
itself, हाँ ना, अरे, in the first 3 games already he was the most successful 100 million signing in the Premier League. पोग्बा
कुछ
भी
भी
इतना
भाई,
अच्छा स्टार्ट नहीं
कैल्विन
किया था,
फिलिप्स, हट। सिटी का
बट
रोबोट है सामने एक तो, और बीच में केविन डी ब्रुयना, उन दोनों निकल गए, देन दिस सिटी टीम कैन बी एक्सप्लॉइटेड भाई। दे हैव अ behemoth सामने।
एंड आई रियली थिंक पेप जाने के बाद ये प्लेयर्स का भी परफॉर्मेंस बहुत डाउन होने वाला है, बिकॉज अभी भी वो लोग के इतने क्लीन शीट्स नहीं, शायद दे हैव नॉट केप्ट अ सिंगल क्लीन शीट, राइट, एक ही क्लीन शीट है कुछ तो अब तक, एक या
हाँ
दो ही
शायद।
क्लीन शीट है ना मैन
हाँ
सिटी का,
हाँ।
तो अभी बच्चे बच्चे भी स्कोर कर रहे हैं भाई उनके अगेंस्ट. अभी वो
शेफील्ड में
जो,
ऑलमोस्ट, भाई वो क्या टीम था वो चैंपियंस लीग में, 60-70
हाँ
मिनट
वही
सिटी को भाई।
वही दे ऑल्सो स्कोर्ड अगेंस्ट देम, सो वो यूएफए के ड्रॉ के बाद जितना हंस रहे थे ना कि इजी ग्रुप है, इजी ग्रुप है, तो वैसे रिजल्ट्स भी आने चाहिए ना.
बट आर्सेनल भाई क्या तोड़ खेली है कल। PSV के
Yeah,
against, too
Arsenal
good.
played well. Yeah. And PSV was the dark horse in that group, I think. PSV ही था उनको प्रॉब्लम दे सकता था. Sevilla is
अभी
shit
सेविया
this
है अभी
season.
भाई.
Sevilla
और
is very shit this season. वो लोग क्या ही खेल रहे हैं भाई. रैमोस है आया है अभी देखते हैं what Ramos can do against Arsenal.
चलो फिर क्या ही करे भाई, आर्सेनल के बात पे स्ट्रीम एंड करते हैं. लेट्स सी व्हाट हैपेंस एट बर्नली. फिर यहीं पे मिलेंगे.
और
आई वोंट डू अ
तुम
वॉच अलोंग भाई. मैं मैच मैच पे कंसंट्रेट नहीं कर पाता. उस दिन ट्राई
yeah.
किया, ऐसे पूरा वीडियो ऐसे है मेरा, देख रहा हूँ मैच. वेरी इरिटेटिंग भाई. I'll
Yeah.
try to do the big games, but छोटे वाले तो अभी ऐसे ही चलते हैं.
Yeah.
Reactionary
मेरा
game.
तो वो फर्स्ट गोल के बाद तो मैंने मतलब फर्स्ट हाफ देखा ही नहीं वो गोल के बाद. When I came back to watch the second half तब मुझे पता चला अरे 2-0 हो गया है. मैं बोला अरे वाह अच्छा हुआ नहीं देखा बचा हुआ 30 मिनट.
I don't think, मतलब 2013 से मैं शायद 4 या 5 ही मैच मिस किया हूँ.
नहीं. You know, I stopped watching United in 2020 and 21. For 2 years, I didn't watch a single game. I didn't follow the season also. I only knew that Ronaldo had come back, and that's one story you will see on my account कि बस रोनाल्डो का फोटो डाल दिया कि आ गया यूनाइटेड. उसके बाद मैंने एक गेम भी नहीं देखा था बिकॉज
क्यों?
मेरा इतना मूड ऑफ हो गया था ना यूनाइटेड के अराउंड कि आई वॉज टू लाइक आई वॉज डन विथ यूनाइटेड एट दैट पॉइंट. बट फिर टेन हैग की स्टोरी देखी मैंने. फिर वो लिवरपूल का गेम का हाइलाइट्स देख लिया एक दिन एंड देन यू नो ही पुल्ड मी बैक इन.
वैसा
एंड
मेरे
अभी
साथ
ये
एक बार ऑलमोस्ट हो गया था कि there was a brief point of time in the Van Gaal era where we did not win a single game in 2 months.
इट वाज
मतलब
रियली शिट था
ड्रॉ
वैन का.
डिफीट ड्रॉ डिफीट, साइड पासिंग, ड्रॉ डिफीट, ब्लिंड रनिंग भाई. ये एरिक्सन तो फिर भी कुछ करता है भाई. ब्लिंड को देख के तो माथा गर्म होता था मेरा. डेली
एंड
ब्लिंड
फिर
एंड
वो बायर्न म्यूनिख गया इमेजिन. एंड वो बायर्न म्यूनिख गया उसके बाद like he moved around sub clubs. I think he went back to
आयक्स.
Dutch league after us. Yeah. बट फिर वो बायर्न गया भाई लाइक
मॉर्गन
मैंने छोड़.
स्नाइडरलिन तो घूम गया.
हाँ स्नाइडरलिन मिला ही नहीं. अरे व्हेन आई लाइक स्टॉप्ड वाचिंग कुछ दिनों बाद ऐसे बीच बीच में आई यूज्ड टू फॉलो अपना दैट आई सॉ ब्लिंड इन बायर्न एंड आई वाज लाइक भाई ये बायर्न कैसे पहुंच गया भाई. को बायर्न ने लिया क्यों. क्या करता है ये बायर्न में.
भाई बायर्न भाई सड़क से प्लेयर्स को स्टार बनाता है भाई. गनाब्री स्टोक में, तो नहीं, वेस्ट ब्रॉम से लात खाया था वो. पहले आर्सेनल में था, आर्सेनल से लात खाया, फिर वेस्ट ब्रॉम गया, वेस्ट ब्रॉम से लात खाया, शायद स्टोक भी बीच में गया था. फिर वहां से भी लात खा के कहा भाई. अभी देखो गनाब्री को, सेम विद चूपो मोटिंग.
या
तो क्या ही कर
पता नहीं
सकते
यार.
हैं. चलो.
एवरीथिंग गोज राइट फॉर एवरी अदर क्लब आई गेस.
ना ना,
हम
उतना भी
लोग के
खराब नहीं जा रहा
हम लोग के रिस्क बैकफायर करते हैं हमेशा.
है. नहीं नहीं, ठीक है ठीक है, होगा भाई. जीतेंगे ना इस बार. प्रीमियर लीग जीत रहे हैं भाई. न्यूकासल वाला सीजन याद करो, जो न्यूकासल लास्ट 2 वीक्स नहीं, लास्ट 3 वीक्स तक 9 पॉइंट्स की लीड में थी, एंड देन सर एलेक्स फर्गसन टर्न्ड इट अराउंड. वी हैड अ वेरी सिमिलर स्टार्ट दैट सीजन एट यूनाइटेड. लेट्स होप
या
अर्लिंग हालैंड फॉरगेट्स टू प्ले फुटबॉल, केविन डी ब्रुयना का अफेयर हो जाए किसी के साथ.
या केविन डे ब्रुयने इज कमिंग इन दिसंबर आई थिंक राइट. तो जनवरी से वो लोग
केविन
फिर
डी
से
ब्रुयना
खेलना.
के बिना इन लोग इतना जीत रहे हैं भाई.
यूलियन एल्वारेज द रीजन फॉर दैट.
Ian
बहुत अच्छा
Alvarez is a
खेल.
class player. Class. तोड़ है वो.
यार ये यार अपना अर्जेंटाइन खेल ले भाई प्लीज.
हम्म,
अपना अर्जेंटाइन 17 नंबर लेके बैठा है.
हम्म. चलो फिर चलते हैं. ओके ब्रो, गुड नाइट. गुड
नाइट.
नाइट गाइस. डोंट फॉरगेट टू लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब. बाय.
बाय.
बाय बाय.